Aries, welcome to your weekly reading for August 8th to the 14th. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure you check out your other placements because you may have messages there as well. All right, so for Aries, what is the theme around the week ahead for Aries? Building blocks kind of fell right out before I even got a chance to shuffle. Let's keep that. So it feels like you're building a new foundation here, Aries. You may be looking for collaborators. You may be looking for partnerships, new partnerships. You might be working on something that brings in sort of a revitalization and some pure happiness, you know, looking at these cards. The one flipped over in the deck, mending. Yeah, it feels like this is a week of sort of bringing things together, maybe healing up some old stories that were holding you back or limiting you, and really pursuing what lights you up. And I feel like that is going to bring in sort of a new appreciation for your present circumstances and a new appreciation for all of the wisdom that you carry. I feel like this is bringing in some insight to you about something new that you're going to be working on, creating, bringing into life, something that maybe you have wanted to do for a while and have hesitated due to some limiting beliefs or limited perspective about yourself. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Conflict and chaos. This is interesting. I feel like you're stepping through. You know, it's funny, as I say this, I'm reminded that, you know, the Lionsgate portal is August 8th, and that is the first day of this intended reading, the first intended day for this reading, I should say. So it feels like very regenerative. I feel like there is something at work here that you're putting together, and it's sort of simultaneously bringing in a lot of joy, but it's also very healing in the sense that it's sort of releasing you from some limited beliefs about yourself. And so, or limited beliefs about what's possible. It might not even be about yourself necessarily, but just, you know, limited beliefs about the possibilities, you know, very interesting. And I feel like it could be a bumpy ride for some of you with that conflict and chaos card. You might have some bumps in the road, but they're all there to help you sort of gain the strength and endurance to keep going. You know, they're not meant to be roadblocks. Let's see here for Aries. Right, first card out is the Two of Wands. So yeah, you are at a crossroads here. This is, you know, a decision must be made, a directional choice. I feel like you're definitely having to pull the trigger on this if you want it to go. Judgment. So you're sort of at a point where, yeah, like that regeneration card, this could bring about sort of a new understanding about yourself, about your beliefs. Ooh, look at all of those cards flying on the floor. One second. We've got the Star card, the Death card. Let's see what else fell here. And the Page of Cups. Interesting. Aries. So you might be stepping into this week not really realizing just how transformative things could get. And like I said, it is Lionsgate portal, August 8th. And so there will be a pick-a-pile reading for that. So keep your attention on the channel to see what messages that reading might bring you. But this really feels like you're at this really important point in the journey where it's like you could easily give up or sort of just dismiss something, but actually it's going to be quite profound if you keep moving forward with your vision in mind. Really holding the vision this week is important. feels like it could be very transformative, and it could initiate this new path. And I feel like you might not realize that the choices you make today are actually seeding the path of tomorrow. And so it's interesting. I feel like there's no coincidence here, that this is very much divinely timed and will bring about a new timeline. But there is a part of you that has to be willing and to be, participating in this initial choice. Very interesting. Let's get the rest of your cards out here. But there is something here feeling like it needs healing, like that Star card in reverse with the Mending card that we saw earlier. There's the Magician in reverse as I start talking about that. So yeah, something within needs balance there, Aries. There's the Four of Cups. So you might be feeling like you missed an opportunity. You might be feeling sort of like you were overindulgent in the past. You might be looking back and sort of thinking, why didn't I do this sooner? And that's all just going to distract you from this initial choice. Sitting and thinking, oh, well, I missed out on that. I should have done that years ago. I would have been so ahead. That kind of talk is very, very limiting, and it will keep you feeling like you're not going to do it. You know what I mean? Like you won't make a choice for yourself because you're too busy sort of judging your past decisions, when really none of that matters. You've arrived at this point, and it's time to pull the trigger on this. It may not have been the right time in the past. You may have needed all of those past lessons to get to where you are today, to be open enough to say, I'm going to do this. This feels like, like there's the Four of Pentacles in reverse too. So you're really needing to shift within. That's what this row is telling us, that this decision is only part of the story here. You're needing to really do some mending, like we saw in the that first row of oracle cards. Some mending, some healing, some reminding of yourself here. I'm whole and complete, and I don't need to judge my past. Perhaps we're seeing the Judgment card not only because you're about to sort of have this realization, but also maybe because you may be lowering your own sense of self with some judgments about the past instead of focusing on where you're at now. There's another two. Lots of opposing energies in your reading today, Aries. You've got choices to make about where you feel like you want to go and where you feel like you want to invest yourself. Decisions about resources, time, energy, money, maybe even decisions about who to collaborate with and who to invite along with you on this journey. I wonder if you're looking for a partnership on a project or a collaboration, but it's almost like we're seeing the Sun card here, Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. It feels like this Four of Pentacles and the Four of Cups are the limits that you hold about your circumstance, yourself, your resources, your emotions, your past. And then we see the Two of Pentacles with the Sun. And I can't help but think that there is going to be something that illuminates more information for you when I see that Sun. But it also makes me feel like willpower here. Your own masculine energy is required here to sort of will you to keep going. And this Page of Swords is sort of in reverse at the end here, suggesting to me anyway that you've got to be about action right now. This isn't a time to be talking or thinking or overly judging the situation. It's like this is a time to take action. It's time to not be so focused on talking about things, but doing them. This is a time of action. We see the Queen of Pentacles here on the bottom of the deck, kind of reminding you, I think, to stay grounded and to stay focused on your abilities to shift. The Queen of Pentacles is so much so a powerful energy when it comes to manifestation, and in this idea of using your abilities to connect on a deeper level to this earthly plane, and to not try to escape that, Aries, to not try to, it's almost like there's this feeling of dissociation where you might need to really ground into this timeline. I can't help but think that there's a part of you that may be trying to avoid this or to escape this. It feels dissociative, like you're not comfortable being here. So it feels like grounding might be necessary in order to sort of come back to the body, come back to the self, and to connect deeper with yourself here on a level that is healing, not judgmental, and one that is sort of open to all of the abundance that exists. But do you feel that way? That's what this reading feels like it's moving us towards here. Let's clarify. Yeah, there's the Magician coming out in reverse again. So there is definitely an imbalance within. So it feels like healing the balance within, really having a look at what are your beliefs, what are your subconscious thoughts right now. We see the Page of Wands also coming out. There's some self-discovery here. Some mending, some self-discovery. I think you're building a new foundation that starts with yourself. And really sort of, it's almost like you're cutting ties with the old version of yourself. And that is creating this regeneration here that we see and bringing in this new path. But you're in the midst of this right now, Aries. Let's see here. Ace of Wands. Yeah. What lights you up? That's where you're being guided to go. You're being guided to sort of get yourself grounded and then start the creative process. It's almost like you need to connect to the divine feminine here and balance it with that divine masculine. So you need action and creativity. You need determination and inspiration. You know, it's an interesting balance that could be quite healing to your energy, and put that mind at rest. Four of Swords. I feel like the thoughts are the things that are sort of keeping you in a place of indecision and in a place of hesitation. Ace of Swords. Yeah, it's time for a new perspective. I feel like you're being guided to cut ties with that old version of yourself that would have felt really limited. The bottom of the deck, we see the Knight of Pentacles. Again, that balance between focus, determination, and inspiration, happiness, joy, creativity. It's an interesting week for you here, Aries. All right, to close your reading, let's get a spirit animal card and see what is the guidance coming to you to close this very interesting reading of needing to balance out within. This is a balancing within kind of week. Ooh. This deck is too big for my hands. Okay, let's see. For Aries. All right, we'll cut the deck. There we go. Badger Spirit, be fearless, be bold. Card 4. So really a time to be releasing any of those limiting beliefs, anything that feels like a fear, and being bold with yourself, being creative, having the will to take action, and not being just talk and not thinking. You know, it's almost a week of of really bringing stillness to the mind and being like, I'm done sort of thinking about this. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to take action. I'm going to nourish myself. I'm going to be grounded and just do what feels like it's the authentic expression of myself. Wow, very interesting reading for you this week, Aries. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope this has resonated for you. Please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting, and we'll see you again next week. Sending you so much love and light, my friends.